There, I'm Begalius. It's whiskey time. Oh, it's whiskey time. This is an update video. I know update videos are not very popular on the YouTubes, but you have to have like a purpose to every video. But I feel as though, dude, I've been uploading every friggin' day, and I deserve an update video. It's whiskey time. Today we're drinking distilled and blended Scotch whiskey, own brand, Morrison's brand. This is a 3-year aged. Let me tell you something. As a veteran whiskey drinker, of which I definitely am, we finished the Singleton, by the way. The Singleton, which was tremendous, and I'm so disappointed that the Singleton's done. If you've watched my previous video, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I had a gorgeous 12-year Singleton prior to this. That was smooth. It was like, it had some nice coffee blends, and it was very smoky, and it was absolutely delicious. This is not the same. This is a cheapo thing that I bought because money's tough. This is a Morrison's own brand, but it's okay. Like, I feel like the Morrison's own brand blended is okay. Like, if you're drinking whiskey on a budget, I would definitely recommend it because quite frankly, it's absolutely fine. Like, there's no issues with the whiskey itself. So yeah, we're sipping on this tonight. Hold on just a second. I just wrapped up Tame Impala Currents while I was playing Halo Infinite. Man, I gotta tell you, that album, I was going to talk about whiskey and then I went straight into Tame Impala. That album's great. It reminds me a lot of like Reflector by Arcade, in that it was an album that a lot of people I think didn't appreciate at the time because it wasn't like guitar and drum heavy. It was kind of electronic. And then, you give it a couple of years once all the indie and scene kids, myself included, kind of got over the shock of it not being, like a band heavy album. And you get to just appreciate how great it is. And I mean, Pitchfork say it's the best Tame Impala album. I don't agree. I mean, dude, they gave it a 9.3, I think. They labeled it a masterpiece, if I recall. Lonerism will always be my favorite Tame Impala album. Lonerism will always have a place in my heart. But yeah, man, like Currents, I really fucking like a lot. I really like that album. Let It Happen is one of the best openers to an album. It's absolutely tremendous. But in terms of this whiskey, my recommendation to you would be, if you are looking to get into drinking whiskey, firstly, don't. It's very addictive. But secondly, the ranking goes, blended would be probably the worst, then bourbon, then single malt. Personally speaking, I like a single malt Scotch. It's my favorite way to experience whiskey. I like it with approximately between 2 and 3 rocks. I don't like when they do the crushed ice business. I went to a pub in London where they gave me Johnny Walker Black Label, which is always a good thing. I'd like some Blue Label or Green Label up in there, but they gave me some Black Label, and it was in an ice filled with crushed glass. I wasn't too appreciative of that, to be honest with you. It's like a 35-pound bottle of whiskey that you're just shoving ice into, and I wasn't a huge fan of that. But the wallpaper was very Dave the Channel-esque, so it's kind of to be expected. They put it in like a funky glass as well. For me, personally speaking, I want a good tasting whiskey set to my Tame Impala album. Or currently speaking, it's actually MCR. I think I've made it very clear on this channel, but I'm a huge MCR fan. I'm currently listening to Black Parade for the 80 billionth time. But yeah, in terms of whiskey, do not drown it in ice. You have to remember that with ice comes water. However, if you're finding whiskey to be too difficult, my recommendation would be to aim for a single malt for as little price as you can. Obviously, single malt's going to be more expensive, but something like a Glenfiddich will probably honestly do you fine. And then add ice. I would recommend 1 to 2 rocks, maybe 3 actually on your first go. And then you can lower that number of rocks. Anyway, I'll see you later.
PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.